Yeah, you're right. All right. Welcome back to Our Minds Lifestyle. I'm your host, Kaydan Belay.
And I'm Ethan Belay, and we have a second episode with my brother, literally from another mother, my boy Mars. How's it going, man?
It's going good, going good.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you being here.
For sure.
So, yeah, man. Tell them where they can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram, Millie Vision. That's MELVEVIZIUNE. And then Snapchat, Switch Game 16.
Yes, sir.
Whoop.
Yep. So,
All right. So our next topic
Yeah.
today is: have you ever been in a situation where you could have retaliated?
Ooh.
You could have retaliated different than what you could have. So, for example, like you were the nice person in a situation, but you could have retaliated so grimy or just did the most wrongful thing to somebody that hurt you at that point. Have y'all been in that situation? And if so, you don't have to give us details on who it was. Just give us enough so we can understand the story.
or if you want to spill some tea.
You know what I mean? And just say like what you wanted to do, but what you decided not to.
Dang, we are out of line, too, man. You want a little bit,
No,
bro?
I'm straight.
All right.
Appreciate you.
I'm saying, I ain't eat no booty in like a few weeks, so we good. Few days. No, I'm joking.
Yes. Most definitely been.
So since you're our
A
guest,
few-
we'll start with
A
you.
few situations. I'll say the one that bothers me the most was a close friend. Slept with my sister. And it's like I could have reacted so different, you know what I'm saying? And I kept humble, if I would say. I kept humble, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's like, why would I let somebody else get me out of character when they're both adults? And I had to look at it like, yeah, it hurt. But at the same time, it's like the other side, because we have two sides of us, everybody do. The other side might, the bad side might thinking like, he has a sister as well, why not?
She probably feeling me.
Exactly, and it's multiple times that she made remarks and comments and stuff like that. And the person that I am, I just kind of laughed it off. I didn't try to pursue that because I respected that person as a friend or brother. And just the moral of the story is like, I could have been grimy. You know what I'm saying? I could have been so grimy, but
What made you not go that route? Just because you didn't want to be out of character?
mainly because at the same time, like I said, like I'm all about good positive energy, and being positive to me is a huge factor because you go out once you have a safe haven, a home, and you set it up and you're vibing and you have that understanding. Once you walk out of these doors, you don't know what you're gonna get into. You might get into somebody dying right in front of you, or you might witness, a bank robbery or whatever. So it's like having that peace of mind, having that is almost therapeutic. Having that peace of mind, like that's what I just like to strive for. So why would I let somebody get me out of character for a mistake that you made?
And like you said,
Even though it
there's two
hurt
parts
me.
to everything, so you
Exactly.
got to account for both parties at that point too.
Exactly. Even
So I
though it hurt
definitely
me,
understand.
you know what I'm saying? I still didn't let my feelings get me out of character because I could have done some crazy stuff. But
So because you didn't, what is something that you've done? Because there's people that's probably battling that now, where they're put in a situation where they don't know what to do. So they're talking to friends, family, just trying to figure out like what would y'all do in the situations. So because you didn't retaliate the wrongful way to change your character, now you can still say, looking back, I'm not that person that you tried to get me to be. What did you do mentally to help you?
mentally, create. I went through a little phase where, like I said, I made bracelets. I even was pushing out little clothing and stuff like that. Mainly, like I just distracted all that negative energy, and I just tapped into my creativity. Started drawing again. Just different things to distract my mind. Hitting the gym up lately, basketball, and talking. I don't really talk about my feelings a lot, and that's one thing that I want to get over. But talking, That was the main thing that really got me through it, because once you have everything that's built up inside, that's when your conscience and your everything just start clouding, and then you have bad thoughts, good thoughts, and they start fighting each other, and then you don't know what to do because it's like you're stuck. But talking it out, like, find that one person that is comfortable, that won't judge you, a person that can just there to listen. You know what I'm saying? Because you could say something to somebody and they have something to say right back, and it's like, no, I just need you to listen. So finding that one person that you comfortable enough to talk to and just talk it out. That's just the bottom line.
I agree 100%. Because it's a lot, you know what I mean? And that's one thing about creating. I like that you said that, because I have this thing where I tell my mom and certain people close to me all the time, when you're so wrapped up, it's a little different for if you know your situation, because someone actually did hurt you and crossed you as well. But in situations where, like for my mom, for example, she bears a lot of my siblings' drama and all that unnecessary stuff that they're dealing with. And I'm like, Mom, like, you need to find something to escape, because that's your reality. You can't escape from that. That's why it's just steady, like, affecting the way it is. But if you actually were doing like yoga or going out and doing something to mentally, keep you insane and take your mind off of it, it's great. Because if not, then you're just gonna be thinking about it all the time. Then at that point, you're going to start doing something you didn't want to do, because now it's constantly in front of you, versus you putting something else in front of you that adds, like you said, positivity,
Right.
and can brighten the mood. So I'm big on that, where like things like when things are bothering me, I go to the gym as well, or I write poems. I like writing stories, so I'll just do things like that. Maybe make a song, something.
Exactly.
So that helps me as well. So I agree. What about you?
I was like, man, I was listening to you, but I was also like thinking like, damn, like it's been so many situations like that for me. It's like I don't even know which one to say. But I would say one that changed me forever was a situation where like we had a friend that like, well, it was two of them. They was a couple. They was a married couple, and they tried to get on with her because they date women together. So, which was normal. I ain't, that's their relationship. Not a big deal for me, whatever. Which I already knew. Like, I already knew how we came to met, because this was when she was serving, and then like, you know what I'm saying, they had met at her job because they were going out to eat or whatever. And then, you know what I'm saying, he was talking about like talking about his car or whatever or something, and then my girl was like, shit, like, what's up? Like, he had a V6 Mustang, so my girl was like, yeah, like my dude got a Grand Prix, what's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? So the wives exchanged numbers or whatever, and then we ended up hanging out like that night or the next day or next night or something. Me and him was cool. We was like chilling on the porch at his crib, and then we was talking about our cars. It was like, shit, you want to race? We was like, bet. We took off, fucking speed around, came back. So we got real close. Like, you know what I'm saying? He became like a brother. She became like a sister to me. And I remember one night where I was making it. I was actually very serious. I wasn't even making a joke. I said it very serious in a like cool manner. I was like, nah. Like, once they told me that like they dynamic and how they rock, they're not swingers or nothing. They just date women together. So once they told me they dynamic, I was like, oh, it's like, so that's why you was like, talking to Vic or whatever, cause you know what I'm saying, y'all was feeling her or whatever. And then they was like, no, like, you know what I'm saying, they could have just been like, yeah, that's what it was until we met you. Then, you know what I'm saying, like, we see y'all rocking with each other, survive, like, y'all good, like, so, like, I would have rather them say it then, because that was me giving it the cue, like, it's cool, like, I can understand, it ain't a bad thing, whatever. We just know I'm here now. That ain't, like, that shit's done for.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, my name's Ethan, how you doing? So, but no, like, their reaction was just like, no, it wasn't even like that, she was just cool, blah, 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 like, I'm like, alright, yeah, sure, right? So then, man, it was like, man, they ended up throwing a party and all this stuff, bro. And, like, one night she was just, like, talking to Vic, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's why we met up with you. Like, we really been feeling you and all that type of shit. Like, wow. And then this nigga texting her from, like, an app number, like, yeah, I see the way you look at me and shit. So the whole time I'm in the bed, like, bro, who is this nigga? Like, because I didn't know who it was. I didn't trip on her. I didn't trip until I figured out, like, what was going on or whatever. But, like, I just feel like I could have retaliated against them because, like, I ain't gonna lie, bro, it changed me. It hurt me on a level where, like, I will never be the same. Right. I've healed from it. I'm not hurt by it anymore, but, like, I can truly see that there's a dark in people. There's a dark side to people. So like, you know, it makes me like watch people very, very closely. You know what I mean? So, um, but like, nah, man, like, it could have got real ugly. Let's just say that. Like, she know how it could have got ugly.
Yeah.
But I was literally like, bro, I was in tears. I was so conflicted because I could have fucked him over dirty. But I was just like, nah, I ain't even gonna do that to him because at the end of the day, I still care about him. I still love him to this day. I still wish the best for him. I haven't talked to him in years, but like, I still love him. To be honest, I still wish the best for him. I still like, it's all love for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta be friends, but we gonna love each other from a distance at this point.
Right.
So that's my situation of many.
So what did you do to not retaliate?
Realizing how much that I actually cared about him, because it also showed me that like life is about defense and offense in some aspects. So to be honest with you, if they wasn't as close as they were, and they were some people that was just like, you know, like, I don't know, I feel like only for me, because I already know that there's a dark side to people. Personally, like, I feel like I can only really be hurt by family. Like, emotionally, I feel like it would hurt more if it's like somebody I'm close to, like a close friend. Somebody that I don't know try to get on my girl, I ain't gonna have a problem with that. But you know what I'm saying, like, cause it's like it's about what you do at that point. Now if he doing the most, like, till it's a safety issue, then we gonna go ahead and terminate that. But I don't know. I just feel like, you know, with like money and stuff like that, like, even like, you know what I'm saying, with us rocking with you, like, I wanted to make sure that I was like upfront about everything, because it's better than just like things bouncing around and then people, because people may say like, it's a human thing to misunderstand of like what somebody's, of how they mean something. So like with me, I just always try to communicate with people and just make sure like, okay, this is how I'm fucking with you, so we good, right? Like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, because then I can always see how people kind of respond to it. So, but I think what made me overcome that is just, honestly, I think it was just the faith that like I didn't want to see nothing bad happen to him.
I
Like,
feel that.
that's really, it was the love for me, because if there wasn't no love there, they would be gone.
I feel that. And for me, there's a few situations, but honestly, the situation that really hurt me, I think the most, was family. It was my aunt, my mom's sister, and I was like 18, we were all drinking. I don't even know how I was drinking, but I got into some bar and we were all drinking. And me, her, and her friend. And then I got too drunk, and then we all went to a hotel. They left me in the bed because I was drunk, passed out. When I woke up, I found out that they took the car and everything. They came back. My aunt was like rubbing my head and stuff. I woke up to that. And anyway, so I went to go drop them off. And then when I dropped them off, I'm like, I'm at this stop sign. I'm like, where's my purse? Like, I don't have any of my stuff on me.
Wow.
So I put my the car in park. I climbed all the way to like look in the car. My purse is literally thrown in the back trunk, and all the cash I had was gone.
That's fucked up.
Wow.
All the cash was gone. So at that point, I turned around and went back to my aunt, and I just asked her about it. And you know, she, even to this day, like, she really didn't have anything to say. The other girl was still there, and I wasn't really friends with her. I just knew her, and at that point, I had so much anger, I didn't know what to do. So I thought I was gonna go see my grandmother, and the story gets worse because I was gonna go see my grandmother, and I was like, I'm so hurt right now. I was like, and I was actually in close to Cincinnati area, and I lived back in what's that place called, Painesville. So I had to drive. So like it was like 4.5 hours. So I was like, you know what? I already got this long drive. Like I'm just gonna turn around, go back home. So the story where it gets worse is that I called my mom, and she was like, you know, like, really, she did all that. And then somehow they call my grandmother, because I said I was gonna go stop and see her. My grandmother was staying with this guy. Well, this guy was staying with my grandmother to help her because she was, you know, she was getting sicker. And he went to go check on my grandmother. She's gone. So the story is crazy because, like, I was on my way to see my grandmother. It's early in the morning. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. If I would have went to go see my grandmother, I would have found her dead.
Wow.
So I guess it's God that, like, literally told me not to go see my grandmother. So I didn't do that. And then, so between her passing and then, like, all that stuff happening with my aunt, I'm just like, it was just so much for me. And I didn't retaliate because I was so angry. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I didn't even know what to do. But because I was so angry, I was like, it's best for me just to leave. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you leave your drunk niece in a bed, robbed from her and everything? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then sit next to me, act like it never happened.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, she still denies that she took my money. But where else was it at? I was only with you and the other girl, and the other girl was with her the whole time. And they
so
both
either the
and
friend took it or you
goes
took
back-
it, but you still got to be the rap for that because that's your friend.
she was up the whole time. You know what I
Let
mean?
one of my
And they
niggas come in here and steal from you, bro. I'm
long
gonna fuck
story
his ass
short,
up. Pause.
long story
Yeah.
short, I know that they took it together because it goes back into our previous conversation. Why I can't get wrapped up in addiction because everyone in my family has an addiction.
Yeah.
My aunt had an addiction.
I'm
You know
sorry
what I
to
mean?
hear that
So
happened to you.
that's one thing that changed me. Where it's like I really have like if people start crossing me, no matter if it's family at this point, I will cut people off.
That's why I hope
I'll cut 'em off
yeah,
real quick.
I really hope you're an inspirational person because like your story is actually quite dope. Like you've been through a lot. And it's
It definitely
sure.
changes. Like all of us, like we all have something where it's like it changes us. But I always feel like there's two people. There's a person in the world that you can like. They just making it awkward.
And I was like,
There's two people.
I was
in the
like,
world.
oh, poor baby.
There's,
like,
there's people that like
damn.
you can literally let a situation affect you and you just stay there and stay stuck and bitter and hurt and you just angry at the world. And there's people it's like, you know what, that's what I've been through, but like you said, I'm humble. Sorry, I'm
Oh,
humble, and I'm not gonna let them get me there. I'm not gonna let me get them out of character or anything like that. And that's kind of like the route I decided to go. You're not gonna get me out of character. I know what I want to do in life, and if you're not meeting my standards, I have to let you go.
So
And
I
it
think,
sucks, but I'm
yeah.
at that point where I'm really comfortable
Yeah.
with myself. I don't care how close we are. I don't care how long we know each other. I don't care if we're family, sister, mother, brother, whatever.
Yeah.
You have to go if you're not adding any value in my life at that point.
Yeah.
Because it shows me if a family member can do that. And I used to be her favorite aunt. I mean, her favorite niece. So it's like she would get me out the car before she get her own kids. Like that's how much she like loved me, I guess. Where's the love now at that point? So I don't even talk to her to this day.
Yeah. So the thing with you that caused you not to retaliate was to be like, you know what, like you're not matching the energy that I give out, so I'm just gonna cut you off. I'm improving my life, so obviously now it's time to erase you from my life.
Because it was just so much at the time. I just didn't even know. I was more so. I think I didn't retaliate because I was shocked. I was like, I was really like, wow. I'm glad I wasn't broke out here because then I wouldn't even have money to get back home. Like, I'm glad I still have money on my debit cards and stuff like that. But she literally took all my cash, and then to this day, I think she still denies it. I don't even know. But I don't know. To me, it's just that's just low as it could go. So it also shows that even family don't have you in your best interest sometimes, and that's the thing that really hurts people
Yeah, I learned
when
that.
you love somebody so much and they don't love you the same. That's what's really hard.
I experienced a lot of hurt from family. That, to be honest with you, it was so for some reason, it affected me so badly that like I ended up having to get therapy for it. Like, I'll be honest, like because to be honest, like, man, family, like that's why you the way you went about it and your reasoning for why you went about it that way is I can actually get with, because I've been on that lately. Like, it's really actually hard for me to hit people up on the phone. It's really hard for me. Because if I'm not emotionally attached to you, then I really have no reason to hit you up unless it's like on some business type thing. So it's like
And it's
my
not,
cutoff
you know.
game. I feel like my cutoff game for me is a protective mechanism for me. It's like, you did me wrong once, you're done. Like, cause you're gonna do it again, or I'm not gonna be wanting to look over my shoulder to be like, are you doing it again?
Because at that point, it's already hard enough to have to let a new person that hasn't affected you anyway to not bring that drama into them. It's just like a relationship. If you've done dealt with people cheating on you, all this stuff, there's certain people that they're literally like, if your phone goes off, I'm like, oh, who's texting you? We just started talking. Like, why am I even, you know what I mean? Like, but previous relationships, people were cheated on or whatever. I've never, had to deal with somebody actually cheating on me. But I feel like I even told Ethan, like, if someone was to ever cheat on me, I think that is my final straw. I don't even think. I know that's my final straw. Because at that point, I'm so open on my communication where I even allow other people to be open with me. If you cross me in a certain way, especially if I ask you and you deny it, I already know now. If I'm asking you, I know. Just be honest. And I think that's one thing that people can learn from in general, just the communication. Even if it hurts, like even if the conversation is hurtful, just let somebody, just have that conversation. Because at the end of the day, I'd rather me like explain it to you and be honest, because it's easier to bounce back from that versus now I'm not honest and now I'm considered a liar. It's hard to bounce back if you become a liar. When somebody puts you in that liar place, you're kind of there for the rest of your life. It's kind of hard to accept anything else from you. And I think that's the part that's really messed up with people. What y'all think?
Yeah.
I agree.
I feel the same way on that. I mean, like when you
Well
you know
said.
how like when somebody like you vibe with somebody saying so much that you just
Yeah,
like
no,
I
that's
feel the exact same way, so
Yeah.
it ain't nothing for me to say.
Like,
Like,
you said it all.
yeah, well, we're done with this podcast. Like,
But-
y'all podcast boring. Y'all niggas argue like the fuck. Like, but
No,
no,
world peace.
yeah, but no, honestly, I agree with that. Like for real, because to be honest, man, like. Man, I done dealt with hurt, man, that just lingers around, and you find yourself thinking about it years later, while you the situation even going on, like the situation been over, you still pondering on it, and it's like make it right some type of way with yourself, then you're never gonna be able to make it right, because even if you try to make it right, even if you didn't do anything wrong, the person may not reciprocate it as you're trying to fix the situation. They might reciprocate and then retaliate even more, so it's more hurt on top of that. So it got to a point where you just you have to realize when it's just like, you know what, man, this ain't going the way I needed to go for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can acknowledge when you're wrong. If you did something messed up, then you know what I'm saying, like own up to it. But like, I feel like on the flip side of that, you know, if you
I think it's easier to bounce back if somebody takes accountability for what they did versus someone that still know they messed up but they can't take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Those type of people really bother me because if I mess up, sometimes it is hard for you to be like, no, I messed up, and I know it's hard. I said it's hard for me, but for the most part, if I am wrong, I will say it.
Cause getting her up in the morning, bro,
Oh my God, here we go.
like, is a task.
First of all, I get up earlier than you, so it has
Yeah,
not been a
because you
task.
work earlier than me. So
Exactly.
yes, but that's only because we're on a different time schedule now. Before I used to get up before you, and you used to, bro. It used to be a pain. Like,
It wasn't that
no,
bad.
babe. Like,
No,
look, it'd be.
I would
hold on,
say-
look, it'd be like, let's say it'd be like 4:25 in the morning, because that's what time she needs to be up. Like 4:30. So let's say it's 4:25. I'll wake her up. No, babe, I got an alarm set for 4:30. Like, bro, wake your ass up. It's 5 minutes. Like, you need to get up.
I'm not gonna
Like,
fake those last 5 minutes be hitting though.
That's what I'm
they
saying.
do.
My
Those are the
alarm
last
clock.
5 minutes that make you late too.
True,
Like,
true.
dog, get up.
No, if
like,
I set my alarm, that's the time I'm supposed to get
but
up.
for her, this is somebody that's constantly, and that's why I don't never trip when she get on me about the vape, because this is also somebody that's constantly saying that, like, this is the time that I need to get up, but also don't get up until that time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not trying to outer them, but like, this is somebody that's like, you know what I mean? That's like, no, I
Crickets.
really want to get up in the morning and work out and do yoga. All right, you don't work until 6, so you're waking up at 4:30 to get an hour to do this. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, or
Yeah.
whatever. You can divide that up how you want to cook and do all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if you constantly say that, and then I'm actually putting in the effort to be like, all right, I'm gonna try to wake you up. Like, I've been in bed knowing I'm not gonna get up at that hour, and still be like, wake up, and be like, babe, wake up. It's 4:30. Like, wake up. Like, I'm not perfect either at getting up, but I also, she know the time. I'll tell her the time that I get up, and once I know she tries to wake me up, then, and I even had to talk with her. I was like, well, look, you know I'm gonna fall. If I'm not out of the bed, I'm still asleep. That's what I had to tell her, cause like I will literally be like, yeah, all right, cool. I'm about to just roll over here real quick, and then I'll sleep for like 20 minutes, and I'm gonna get up, okay? And then she be like, okay, and then like, but then I don't remember none of it. Like I don't remember none of it. So, but like, no, long story short, outside of that though, I think like, I don't know, man, nobody's perfect. I know that, but at the same time, man, I've been hurt a lot, bro. So like,
Facts.
and those that hurt left scars. So
Yeah.
but going back into the music, I think that's also why like I haven't released as much music, because it is my music has been like a getaway for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no pressure with it. I escape from my reality when shit's fucked up with music. So it's, at least then, like,
But honestly, there's things that you still have to keep, like maybe your music that you record yourself. Maybe you don't want to be an artist. Maybe that's not for you. Maybe you just
but some
do
of
it
them
for other
songs be
people.
dope though.
Yeah,
Like,
but if
yo,
you wanna-
y'all gotta hear this.
if you
like,
wanna
this
hold
that
it-
splat right there.
if it's still on your computer, ain't nobody hearing it anyway. So you know. But you are right. There's things I definitely need to work on as far as my time. So I feel you. That's for
Yeah.
you. We'll get to that.
But even with the music, like, I gotta work on that. I do have to push that.
So I'm gonna work on time getting up. You gonna work on music? What you gotta work on?
Huh?
What you need to work on? So we can look back in 6 months and see if we worked on it.
I'll say a little bit of everything. I'm gonna be humble. A little bit of everything. I'm not perfect. So I'll say a little bit of everything.
Pick 3 things. Since you can't choose, Mr. Ethan, because y'all both the type of person. I pick both characters. I'm like, you can't pick both characters.
I mean, that's a solid answer. I mean, like, if you feel like, you slacking in multiple areas, and not really slacking, but I just feel like if that's what you're doing. But if you want to be specific,
a couple areas. So when we look back, you can be like your whole life. I'm like, did you work on your life more? So like, give me a few things. Like, it sounds like working out, you've been pretty good, consistent with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure we could look back and be like, yep, you're still in the gym because you said you've been doing good. But is there anything that you haven't touched yet that you want to?
I say my sleeping habits. Like, I can stay up all night. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed that, like, I get not cranky, but like I feel off. Mm-hmm. And especially me getting up, crazy hours and stuff like that. So I'll say definitely sleep habits. Next one, I'll say managing my time a lot more. I'm not bad at it, but definitely managing my time a lot more. Cause I find times like, I just be sitting on a stall, not doing nothing. It's like, yo, you can use the time to do something. Like, another thing is, cutting down social media.
Yeah.
Cause like I said, like there's times where I'll just sit there and just scroll, and it's like I look up, it'd be like an hour 25, and it's like, yo, that's a whole hour that I could have been planning something to make money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or doing something productive, like.
Yep, something that makes you happy. Cause like social media, I'm not saying it's depressing, but to me, like the reason why I'm not on social media often is because a lot of things that people are doing, especially people I follow, I want to do that. You know what I mean?
To me, it's a huge window shopper.
It really is. You know what's crazy? You literally, like, you said it differently, but you read my mind. Because, like, I'm not pooping on nobody that's a social media consumer, because I am a social media consumer myself. But I will say, you said it's depressing because all you doing is looking at shit that you don't have. Like, unless you got like a car, but like majority of the people that are watching social media feeds don't have a Lamborghini. Like, they don't have the shit that they're drooling over, or they don't have that fine ass girl that's seeing just know how to get the lighting just right. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like with certain, it applies differently to people, but like, you know what I mean? With it being in window shopper, it's like, it's kind of depressing because you be like, man, like, dang, like, these people, like, this what they do for work? Like, these people flying out the mountains and doing all kinds of wild
And I feel
shit.
like they do that, like, watching some people that upload the content, they do it for motivation, which it can be very motivating, but because it also is motivating for me, it's like a wake-up call, too, for me to get off of it. Right. But it's also depressing for me, it's only internally depressing if I choose to keep scrolling after I watch a video that I know after this video, this should have been enough for me to, like, get off. It's
just a huge sinkhole because it's like you look at something for like we all have that one person or a few people that we just like, yo, I fuck with them, so like I would like to follow them, whatever the case is. And it's like whenever they post something, it's like, yo, what do they post? But at the same time, it's like if you're seeing what they're doing and you like it so much, take that C part out, take that vision part out, and put the work part in that position. Because if you put that work in, you can get exactly what they have. You can do exactly what they're doing.
They ain't doing nothing different, and they even telling us that they ain't doing nothing different.
Exactly. All it is consistency. Same thing. Like I said, I take it back to the gym. It's consistency. You look at your body every single day. Hopefully, when you wake up and you look in the mirror, you hopefully look at yourself. Right. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying.
Damn.
But it's like you see that chub, you see that overhang, you see that double chin, whatever the case you have that you don't like, but you're looking at, all these models like, damn, I wish I was like that. Damn. But it's like the time that you're scrolling through looking at these people, why not put that phone down, put some music on, whatever the case is, however you set up, and just do what you need to do to get to that position. Because it's like once you get there, it's like, wow, now you can be that person that showed your story, showed your journey. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being a witness. Like, to me, it's just people
who don't have time, they literally that hour, like you said, if I'm just scrolling nonchalantly, that could have been that hour. You could have literally took that video that you just sat here and watched over and over again, different videos, because like you said, people doing the same thing. same videos you're gonna see over time. Like at this point, you already know what glute workouts to do.
Mm-hmm.
You already know what arm workout, ab workouts to do because the last 5 people you just watched probably did the same
Right.
4 abs that's
And
supposed
you
to
gonna
grow your
look
butt.
goofy as hell in the
You know what I
beginning
mean?
doing it.
So
But if you
why
keep
don't you
doing
take that
it,
video and
you
go
gonna
to the
get it
gym and do
down.
it right then and there? Put some
Yep.
action into it.
It's just
Exactly.
like, why be the cheerleader when you can be the main player?
Yeah.
It's common sense. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
Cause I'm like, man, like, bro. I think that's where even if there is, I feel like depression at this point for me is just like I'm not the person that I want to be.
mm-hmm.
Like I'm really ready to just be like, bro, I want to be like a real life like Black Panther, Iron Man, like.
But one thing I like about that podcast I watch all the time, the guy says this all the time, and I think this one saying actually sticks with me. He said, "You are doing all you can do is that." Wait, how does he say it? You are doing all that you can, being the person you are now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the things that you want, the lifestyle, all that you want, the careers, you have to not necessarily be another
Shout them
person,
out, man.
but
Social
you have
Proof?
to, you have to
man,
be
shout
another
out to
person.
Social Proof, man. Y'all some
Yeah,
goats.
Social
We
Proof
watch all
podcast.
y'all
If you're an
podcasts.
entrepreneur, definitely subscribe and watch their show because I learned so much from them.
And we signing up for the morning meetup.
Of course.
So shout out to y'all, man. Y'all.
But yeah,
are-
on there, I forget who said it and who said that phrase, but
Yeah.
honestly that is. So like if you want to be someone different, you have to change your habits. So with
Yeah.
you, if you work on time management, it literally works on everything else that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get
Yeah.
to bed early and then on top of that you'll be able to, do more with your time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I look at it like, to me, I take it to the sports aspect, especially for people that are in drafts or trying out for a team. You got to think about it. It is so many people that's trying to get that same position. So many people trying to get that same look. So it's like, you know what you need to do to get to that place.
Mm-hmm.
So the work that you put in, everybody else going to be doing their work. If they want to sit back and chill, that's them. But if you know that this is what you want and you set that goal and you work towards it every single day, like, all right, I know I got to work out. Let me get up earlier to work out or whatever the case is. If you set that and dedicate some type of time of your day to that one thing, literally, it will blow up right in front of you because it's like I said, it's consistency because you're taking time for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you look at something like, oh, I want a big ass or I want big arms, but it's like, you just, all right, well, that was just my thought and just completely ignore it, you're not getting what you want. But if you're like, okay, this is what I want, let me take this time out. I'm going into the gym or I'm going to go play basketball or whatever the case is. I'm going to make this music. Then on top of that, number one, you're going to feel happy because you completed something.
Right.
Number two, you're going to feel complete. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just did this versus looking at, oh, they just took this picture. I just took this picture. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, that's a fat ass.
Right. Like,
That's
you.
a juicy ass booty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, it's all about what you want. It's so easy to be comfortable and just look and want things to be given to you. But it's like, when you put that work in, it's like, nobody can tell me because I did this
You
shit
put the
myself.
work in and you got to keep putting the work in. And then if you
Exactly.
think about it, if you just do it now versus wait until tomorrow,
Mhm.
then when you look up 6 months, you're going to be probably where you want to be, if not at least halfway there.
Exactly.
Because now you're staying consistent. And there's this one thing that people say, you know how they say practice makes perfect.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But also, another saying I heard was, I've never met somebody that practiced over and over again and got worse.
Facts.
So if we keep
Right.
working out, we're only going to get better. Our form's only going to get better. Our body
Facts.
goals are only going to get better. We're not going to go in the gym, practice for 6 months doing RDLs, and then get worse at our form. That's just not
I
how
don't
life
even know what
works.
an RDL is, but okay.
We'll talk offline.
I don't even know what an RDL is, but okay.
Hip, hip.
I'm following you.
See, I've been in the gym. See, can't say I haven't. I know some terminology now. But anyway, but that is so that's what I'm taking from it. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
like, just keep practicing. You're only going to get better. You're not going to get worse.
Right. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel that way about music too. That's why I think I'm ready to push it because
Push that shit.
like, bro, I can vibe if it's somebody that's in the studio that's willing to work to create something dope. I can vibe with whoever. It don't even matter what style they are, what genre it is. By the time we walk out, we can spend 2 days, like we can spend 2 days like in the studio, and it's like, bro, like
He's like,
we're gonna
"Sign
walk
me
out
up."
with some fire,
Right.
like so it's like
Well, just know
I'm
you
just ready
have
for people to
people
know.
next to you, on both sides, right and left,
we're gonna release a song the same
that
day
are
as this
willing to
podcast.
put some work in. So all we are
Yeah.
waiting on when it comes to music.
I'm still waiting for all of us to get on one track.
That's what I'm saying. We ain't never happened.
I tried to set that up. That's her fault. I did set that up.
That's because I've been sleepy. I'm trying to work on my sleeping habits too.
Tap.
I am. Because even the other day when we were sitting out there, I was like, all right, well, it's going on. What time?
Yeah.
I was like, I need to be
No,
in
it's
bed.
cool. Yeah. Actually,
So let's just start early. Can we do that? Can we start recording at like 10:30?
If we do that, we about to go to bed.
Well, I'm just saying overall, like we can all get on a song if we
Like,
start at 10:30.
It's
Not at freaking 1 o'clock in the morning.
1
No,
o'clock.
I'm about to hit the hay right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I was looking at you. I was like, your eyes still open?
Right.
Badly.
Johnny said, I need to go
Look at
sleep now. All right, but y'all, I thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have any final marks y'all want to say?
Nah, man. I want y'all to live your life and be great.
Be
Yes.
great.
Like, now that you didn't watch us or you caught a snippet of this on social media, man, now it's time for you to go up
You
and,
literally
and do your thing. Like,
create the lifestyle.
we're
you
not
want.
creating content for you to be stuck. Now, if you sitting watching our content all day, I would love y'all forever. You know what I'm saying? But also, like, no, like this podcast is for y'all to watch it and gain something from it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully be able to take something away and then, like, all right, cool. Now I'm ready to get my day started. Like, I needed to hear that. Like, it could have been one sentence that Mars said, I said, or K-Don said, like, you know what I'm saying? It could have been one little sentence that'd be like, yes, you having this. It's like church, like that one line that hits your heart, and you just be like, like it just hit that emotional string for you. Like,
Right.
yo, go out and be great, man. And like, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's toxic for you, don't let nobody tell you that you can't. Like, keep moving. So I love y'all. It's Ethan Millet, my beautiful wife, the host of the show. She put it all together, K-Don, and my brother from another mother. Call him King Mar. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
My
sir,
brother
yes, sir.
Mar. Go
Yeah.
check him out, man. Like, he released. Go follow my guy. Like, he's a vibe. Like, you know what I mean? And then I know we're putting together this YouTube. I know you're trying to get that bike show.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
for
he
sure,
has a
for
YouTube
sure.
coming soon as
For
well,
sure,
so
for
we'll
sure.
definitely let y'all
So-
know when that's
He's a
out.
Right. But
But
yeah,
until next time, go be great.
deuces.